I always feel like I start off so close to the camera, but I'm getting smarter at doing the tag for the night, because what I do now is I cut and paste it, and then I type it out, I copy it, and then I paste it. That's a lot faster than me with my face in the screen. Blinding everybody. So greetings and welcome everyone. This is the Pum Pum Chronicles. I am your host, AJ Badass Jones. It is Wednesday night, which of course means we are here for Wet Wednesdays. Tonight I have a guest with me, a special guest with me. You guys have seen him on here before. I've also done a podcast episode with him. Of course, the magnificent, the phenomenal King Hefs will be joining me. The topic tonight, of course, is orgasm control and orgasm denial. So Hef is going to come on maybe in about 15 or 20 minutes. So until then, with whoever kind of comes and goes, we'll do a check-in just to make sure that everybody is good. What's up, Mr. Craze Driver? I'm trying to wave at people. I should get my pen, but the stylus is so far. Yeah, so the wellness check-in to kind of start things off. I'm trying to think of the last week I talked to you guys. Was it Valentine's Day? Just after Valentine's Day? I don't know if we talked to everybody. Pretty girl Jaja, what's going on? I'm trying to wave without mashing up the screen. I don't know what I did with my stylus. Okay, I don't know where my stylus is, so you just have to deal with me like zooming in. So as I mentioned, in about 15 minutes or so, King Hefs is going to log on, and he and I and you, of course, are going to have a discussion about orgasm control and orgasm denial. So one of the reasons why I really wanted to discuss this topic or broach this topic is part of it is purely selfish for a recent experience that I had with someone where he made me feel like, I don't know, maybe it's not actually related to this, but in those moments where you feel like, you know, you're about to achieve orgasm and then something switches off in your head and the orgasm just completely dies, it's for those frustrating moments. Kinks with Kiki, oh my goodness, my darling, my love, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages. It's nice to see you. So we're going to talk about orgasm control, ways in which orgasm control can help you actually control your orgasm so you don't get to that point of feeling like you're losing the orgasm. And one of the ways in which you can do that is through orgasm denial. And of course, King Hefs is going to be here to discuss the topic with me. I'm going to read some medical information about orgasm dysfunction for those of us who have either experienced it or have it. You want to see my toes? You got to pay to see my toes, sweetheart. You have to pay to see my toes unless I'm feeling generous and I decide that I'm going to put up a picture with the piggies. That's not, we're not doing that tonight. Sorry to disappoint you. You'll have to wait for a special picture for that to happen. Anyhow, I hope that everyone is well. The weather today was actually really nice, which is surprising and kind of weird too, because so I'm in Canada, those of you who know, and it's like super cold here, albeit the States has been getting blasted with way colder weather than we have. And there is King Hef. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the small talk. And I am going to go with King Hef. This is exciting. I haven't seen you in like months. Waiting for the signal to pick up. Mr. Noir Haven, what's going on? Bearded Phenom, my brother Eric, my darling. I hope that you are well. I hope that you and the ladies are doing well. I miss having my other page. It's just so crazy. Like, I'm so used to being over there, but these dirty, stinking Instagram people, Mr. Trini, these dirty people have me. It's like they're taunting me with my page because my page is there, but I can't get onto my page. It's killing me. I have like over 300 messages, and then there are, I think, like 30 or 40 something else's that, it's sending me crazy. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hoping that I think like when you get a Facebook suspension, they usually suspend you for like a month. So I'm hoping by the beginning of March they will allow me and let me get back to my page, but I don't know what's happening. Trying to, I know it was like, where the hell is she? I haven't disappeared, and it's funny because now I have people like messaging me on my personal, like my personal phone number and stuff like that, and my email because they're like, okay, you haven't posted in like 2-3 weeks what's wanted, and everybody knows, even if it's one thing a day, I have to post something. So I don't know. Going to request King Daddy Hef again. For some reason, the request did not go through, so we're waiting to see if he links. But yeah, it's been interesting. Not having my page, but knowing that my page is there and knowing that they're just one of my friends, BJ said because I fucked Instagram's man and wrote Instagram man face, and Instagram is vexed with me because of that. King Hef.
Hello.
It's so wonderful to see you.
Ditto.
How are you? I don't like ditto. Say it back. It's not nice.
It's absolutely amazing to see you as well.
Thank you.
In all your glory.
All
Sexiness.
of my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, I wore red because of you. I don't generally wear red, but I wore red for you. And see, it's caged. It's got like a little bit of straps. Trying to do a little one too. When you're coming to come see me.
I appreciate that.
How are you? How are things? I haven't seen you in a while. How's everything?
All is wonderfully well.
Good. Do you have clothes on? I can't see properly. What are you wearing?
Clothes.
You have a shirt on?
Mm-hmm.
What color is your shirt? Am I blind?
It's red.
Look at that. When we didn't even talk about it. We're
right?
Connected. I think that's a beautiful thing. So, thank you very much for agreeing to talk with me this evening about orgasm denial and orgasm control. For those of you who are just joining us, this of course is the king of debauchery and physical mayhem. Hey, Samantha. This of course is King Heft. The purveyor of the vagina vitamin and all kind of other sexiness that he does.
Yes.
Something about something treats, something or other, come treats, or I don't know, I not remember, but he has a wealth of things to help with the wetness, help with the mental fortitude, to help with relaxation, also that you can have the best intimate, erotic, and sexual experiences ever. Did I say that good?
Yes, you did. Oh my goodness. I couldn't have paid you to say it better.
You see? I have quite a few uses. So.
Yes, I appreciate it.
So, before we get into the discussion at hand and the million questions that I'm going to have for you, one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this topic, and particularly with you because you are very versed, and I would say that you have expertise in this area. So orgasm control or orgasm denial, I think it's something that's usually practiced within the BDSM lifestyle. But the place that I'm coming from and wanting to discuss it partially is about women who get to a point of having an orgasm, and then for whatever reason, either a switch goes off or on in their mind, and the orgasm just goes away. And the frustration that causes. And so I had a thought to myself that if women learned how to better control their orgasm through intentional orgasm denial, and then being able to release the orgasm when they were ready, that they would be able to enjoy an orgasm on their timing, like on when they were ready to, instead of feeling like they were coming up to a forced moment.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm with it.
So for those, because I've experienced that where like it's good and I'm all there in the experience, and for whatever reason my mind shifts tracks, and that orgasm that's like right there that you can taste, that you can feel, just completely goes away, and then I get vexed.
Yeah, that can happen. So listen, before we go too deep, at 9:30 I have to get off because I gotta I got something I got to do. All right, so I just want but I want to come on so we can go ahead and talk about this because I think it's very important.
Are you gonna come back?
Huh?
Are you coming back?
Mm-mm. So you got me for
19 minutes.
Let's go. So let's get it.
Okay, so I'll get to the technical stuff after that. So the question, from your standpoint, from being a dom, and in your professional capacity and in your expertise, what is orgasm denial, and what are the benefits of orgasm denial?
Well, orgasm denial is when or edge play, right? So it's some people call it edging, some people call it orgasm denial, right? It's pretty much one and the same thing because with edging, well, orgasm denial is when you deny your orgasm, you build it to that point and you deny the orgasm with you know what I mean, of the submissive or the bottom, and they can't have an orgasm without asking you first or getting your permission to come, okay? And when a lot of people hear that, they're like, it's no way that I could hold back my orgasm. It's like, well, you could or you couldn't, right? Because if you don't, there's going to be repercussions and it's going to be behavior correction. And the one thing about it is that if you just think about it in your regular mind, you like, hold up, are you saying that if I was in a session with you, King Hef, aka Daddy Hef, and I'm Daddy Hef right now, so I'm in my BDSM, so you're saying Daddy Hef, if I'm in a session with you and you're denying my orgasm, you tell me I can't come without permission, I can't do that. Well, in the negotiation part and as we hard and soft limits and as we talk about the journey you're going to take, right? As you come to release and feel and everything through the pleasurable pain, you're not going to want to stop that. So if you have an orgasm without my permission, then guess what? Goodbye. And the only person you can be mad at is yourself because all you had to do was control it. Like, it's just, and so it's the same thing with edge play. Say if you are masturbating at home, right? Or in the office or whatever, and you like, you know what, I'm gonna bring myself right to orgasm and then I'm gonna take it away, right? So you almost about to reach there and then you like, let me cut the toy off, let me put it to the side. And the thing is, you could do edge play for 24 hours, for a few days, for a week. You can even do it for a month or two. Like, yeah. Seriously, like I'm just saying, but realistically, because you know that the reward and the release is going to be so, it's going to be like fucking therapy to your whole being when you actually finally allow yourself to release, right? And that's all it's all in mental. Like, mentally, you're like, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna see how far I can take myself right to the edge and then fall the fuck back, right? Now, in theory, you're like, hell to nah, I ain't doing that shit, right? But however, in the sort of the context of the topic that you're talking about tonight, and you spoke about earlier, it's a way to allow yourself to be more mentally present. So you can really focus on not necessarily the end or the focus on the orgasm, focus on denying yourself the orgasm or bring yourself to the edge and be like, you know what? I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet, right? And a lot of times what happens is, because I have the discussion with women who since I have the product Pink Hef Vagina Vitamin, and I've talked to many women over these last 10 years, and a lot of them say, that like when they're having sex, they're not fully there. You see what I'm saying? Like, they got other things on their mind, kids, work, you know what I'm saying? Do I look sexy enough in the bed? You know what I'm saying? Like, all kind of different things like that are playing in your head, like you're overthinking it. You have all these thoughts are going. And then, like you said, when you get to the point you're about to orgasm, then you have a rapid thought that comes through you like, oh, fuck. Like,
and shuts everything down.
You're like, oh shit. Am I too loud? Am I gonna wake the kids up? And then right there, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
Kills the
And
moment.
so it kills the moment. So that's if you just, so now what you do is instead of like really focusing on the orgasm, right? Like the end goal of the orgasm. A lot of people are trying to, they pow, ready, set, go. I got to reach the finish line. I got to reach it because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to reach the finish line. How about saying, you know what? Instead of me being a sprinter, let me be a marathon runner for myself, right? Let me allow myself to be fully in the moment and then take it back, right? Because you can do it, because what that's going to do mentally, it's going to allow you to release those blocks. So anytime, when you engage with a partner, right, and it get to that point where you want to have an orgasm, you're going to automatically decide at that moment that you want to have an orgasm, right? It's not going to be like thoughts run through your head. You like, I'm ready now. I'm ready. And
you're training yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
You had mentioned earlier that when you are doing training sessions, if you're submissive or the bottom in that moment doesn't necessarily abide by the rules, and if you tell her that she's not allowed to come at that moment and she decides that she's going to anyway, you said that you say bye.
Yes.
As in, like, you leave, like you pack up your bag of tricks and you leave?
Possibly. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with behavior correction. Behavior correction could be whatever I decided to be, right?
Okay.
Because here's the thing, right? If you're trusting me with your safety and your protection and your pleasure and your pain, right? And you're allowing yourself to allow me to take you on a journey where you can let go of shit that no longer serves you, right? And you can release through the pain. You can receive pleasure through the pain, right? Then all you have to do is what we agreed to, right? We agreed that in the beginning, you're not allowed to have an orgasm without my permission. You remember that. Now, do you remember that? Then you're like, yes, Daddy, have. So just remember that. Listen, you can't, nope, not yet. No. And then if you release, it's like, well, shit, you made up your own mind. Okay, you don't need me.
Okay, but what if I need like a second chance? Like, what if the first round is because like I'm not really used to it, and I'm
ain't no second chances. Ain't no other second chances. Here's the thing. This is something that you and I negotiated up front in the negotiation stage, right? We talked about orgasm denial. I'm like, yo, like, and so a lot of times leading up to a session, the women who have paid sessions with me, I let them know that, say, leading up to the week before, no orgasm, no coming, nothing. Like, because they like, no, none of that. Don't need to touch yourself.
So hold on. So a week prior to seeing you,
yes.
A week prior to knowing that you're about to like mash me up, you want me to not play with myself, not have an orgasm, and then come to you to let you mind fuck me into not having an orgasm? Listen to me. You're gonna have to go home or send me home or put me in the corner because I'm wetting up everything. The second you start to talk to me and you're telling me, like, you bring me to that point and then you tell me, AJ, no, you can't come, man, you're just gonna have to punish me because I would need a do-over, or I would need a second chance. Because this is for me, this is mentally what happens. When I get to that point where I'm like, so this is the threshold and I'm like just about to touch it. And even when I stop myself, it still comes.
Oh.
Like my muscles start to spasm beyond control, and there's literally nothing that I can do.
But okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, if you hear it, like the women out there listen, even the men out there listen, if the people are like, "What the fuck? Are you serious?" No, it's no way I could do that. However, when you are in a session, a play scene, a play session, and that's what's happening, the last thing that you want to do is stop it. Like whatever's going on, whether you're getting choked, spanked, whatever, like all these things, you're getting all these sensations on your body, like in your mind, you're like releasing through the breath and everything. The last thing that you want to do is disappoint Daddy. know what I'm saying? Because when you disappoint me, you're not really disappointing me, right? You're disappointing yourself, right? Because they're clear, I mean, for real, right? It's repercussions, and so that's the one thing about it is it's like it's about the control, right? It's about letting go and giving me the control, right? Like,
So why are they not allowed to masturbate in the week leading up to
but because I mean, so here's the thing. That's the one thing. It's a negotiation part, right? So some women are like, nah, I can't, that's not something I want to do. Okay, cool, no problem. All right, so that's something we talk about. But if that's something that we talk about prior to, then you know, it's like, hey, listen, right now, you don't need to have an orgasm. You know what I mean? Just listen. You aren't allowed to have one because I said so. That's why. Like it's a listen. Wherever the mind goes, the body will follow. Right. So here's the thing. You're already anticipating what's going to happen. Like, oh my God, how's this going to be? Like, if you, especially if you play with other doms before, right? But when you have a session with me, you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like, I see all these videos, like his voice, like what's going to happen? But listen, it's only one way to find out. Like, and I'm going to ask you, like with day one, like, can I please come in? No, you don't need to. Focus on something else. Don't worry about that. Like all this stuff that you've been building up all week, the anticipation of it. Stay in that vibration. Stay in that pool. The anticipation of, oh my God.
So when they ask you why, if I say to you, so let's it's a me and you session.
Sure.
And I ask you, Daddy Hef. I call you Daddy, right? Daddy
Hef. Yes.
Daddy Hef. Why can't I come?
Because I said you can't.
Outside of you telling me because you say so.
Yeah, because here's my thing. Me personally, I want you to get in the mindset of what the reward is going to be after that. After whether it's 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6, 7 days, a week, or 10 days, right? That's okay. Think about the reward. Think about the reward that's going to happen at the end of that when you're finally allowed to release, right? Because when you finally release,
right,
like you're gone. Like, yay, celebration, right? It's like we celebrating this.
Yeah. Happy dance.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, like, yo, don't, like, listen, like this is. Like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you, right? This ain't for me. This is for you. This is what you're paying for. You're paying for the experience, right? That's what's happening. Like, this isn't like, this ain't just me coming by or you coming by, you know, to where I'm at, or me coming where you're at, and we just got there playing. Nah, the experience and the reward.
So, if you had to give advice, I don't see how much time you have. I have 5 minutes. Okay, so if you had to give advice to the women who are in the audience right now, who are watching, and the woman who's going to watch the video after, if there's a woman who's having difficulty, like, getting past the threshold into the orgasm, because she, you know, like, whenever she gets to that wall, like, it just stops and it goes away. Yeah. But instead of that being a negative, how can she turn that into a positive to help her get over that hurdle?
By practicing edge play. Okay, so here's the thing: for any ladies out there who are going to be watching this afterwards or who are live now, okay, try this. I implore you to try this tonight. Let's say tonight. Say tonight. You got your clit stimulator, your clit sucker, or you have your bullet, right? Or you have your massage wand, whatever you have, or you have your fingers, right? Tonight, be like, you know what? Let me try this. and practice it over and over again until you're able to control that part of yourself, of your goddess, your sexual goddess energy, right? So it's like this: when you are when you are having your self pleasure session, bring yourself to you almost right there, and pull it off and be like, woo. Right, but listen to me for real. Like like try this, like even yourself, try it out and be like, all right, like just put it to the side and be like, okay, get your breathing down, breathe it down, and then start all over again, right? To the point where you feel yourself, when you right about to get there, then let off again and be like, okay, woo, all right. So I'm serious, right? Give it a few minutes and be like, I'm gonna try it again. And then right when you feel your body
to do this, because I know like that first part where daddy have child, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah, like no,
so you know what? And then we can come back and have a discussion about it. But
yeah,
okay. So pushing yourself to the point where you're gonna have the orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And then whether it's fingers or a toy or even, because for me, I don't necessarily use an apparatus. And I don't necessarily use my fingers.
Yes.
I do the exercise of just like clenching.
Yes.
But like I said, part of my issue, I know Samantha said she experiences, and I'm not sure if anybody else does. It's like when I get to that point, even if I try, like, I don't know when exactly to stop, because I've tried stopping before. And when I get to that point where it's about to come, even if I like release the hold on my legs and completely relax my muscles, I can still feel myself spasming inside, like it's coming.
So listen to this in closing. When you were a baby, right, and you were crawling, and you were trying to walk, right? You had to practice many times getting up and trying to walk before you could walk.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing. Like you use that when it comes to your self-pleasure and allowing yourself and doing some edge play for yourself. Because what you're looking for being able to control your orgasm to the point that even when you get to the point where you used to be, where you would like have something to go through your head and it'll totally wreck the motherfucker orgasm. Now what you're doing, you're practicing orgasm denial control for yourself, right?
For yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the most important aspect of everything in your life is you, right?
Absolutely.
It's you, nobody else. It's the most important thing. So make yourself a priority, right? Make your pleasure a priority. Don't let anybody else, make if you ain't making your own pleasure priority, stop making everybody else's pleasure priority. And what about yours? You know what I mean? Right. So just try that. So I definitely look forward to hearing how it works. So even if you fail the first time, it's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Like the one thing I want, ladies, I want y'all to stop doing is stop being so hard on yourself. It's okay. Like shit happens, right? Just get back on the bike again. You know what I'm saying? If you try to ride a bike and you fell off, it's okay. Get on that bitch again and keep going until you can goddamn stay up and balance yourself. That's all it is. All right up.
I want to thank you so much. I know you have to run. Hopefully, if you're available next week, we can do a follow-up conversation. I also want to talk to you about, I did an episode about aftercare when you're intimate, whether it's routine or just intense intimacy. But you had posted something about aftercare for DOMs, and I wanted to talk with you about that a little bit more. So I'll touch base with you offline, off here, and we'll figure out something. But thank you so much for your expertise. Thank you so much for your insight and your wisdom. Always a pleasure.
Oh man, it's so good to see your beautiful self as well. Also, so I'm gonna follow up with you, and I'm gonna find out how that worked out for you.
I know you're going to. I already know I'm gonna fail miserably, but I'm gonna get back on the horse several times. And I'm gonna try.
You got this. I believe in you.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace.
So that was Daddy Hef, aka King Hef, aka the king of debauchery, the purveyor of the vagina vitamin. If you don't follow him, his name is down there at the right there at King Hef's. Wealth of knowledge, professional dom, a sweetheart, and it's always great chatting with him. So next week, for those of you who are in the chat, we're going to, some of us are going to try the orgasm denial for 1 week, starting today until next week Wednesday when I have King Hef back, hopefully. So we're going to try edging with ourselves as a part of learning orgasm control, not necessarily through orgasm denial. Yeah, that's going to be a real motherfucker. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's going to be a bitch. But we are going to try this. So for the women who are in the live and in the chat and those who have come and gone, I'm going to post it so that we can, have, I don't know, maybe we need a support group to talk about it. But again, the reason I want to have this discussion is because when we're stressed, when we are tired, when we're emotionally fatigued, when there are a lot of things that are happening and going on in our lives, achieving orgasm is sometimes difficult, to the point where you're at the threshold of having an orgasm, and because your mind starts to think about other things, that euphoric feeling of having the orgasm or getting to the peak, it just all of a sudden goes away, leaving you feeling like completely frustrated and like, if you're like me, vex. I get vexed. Bad. Lizzie Pooh, don't be scared. We're a team. We are a united front. We're all going to do this together. What I'm gonna do is, I don't know how I'm gonna open up my DMs or whatever, but for anybody, any of the women who want to try this, we're gonna have a support group for 1 week to have a place to talk about orgasm denial. So I don't know how to create it, but I will figure out something. Even if you DM me to say, okay, like today's my day one, this is how I did, we will check in with one another. Girl, I am scared too, because like I said, I've tried it, and whether I want to or not, that orgasm just keeps coming sometimes. Damn Shame Podcast, what's up, my love? How are you? We can talk about it on Saturday too. Absolutely. So I just wanted to read a couple of notes that I wrote about. So for women who have difficulty pushing themselves past the threshold of that orgasm, it's called Orgasmic Disorder. And what it is a lack of or a delay in sexual climax, even though sexual stimulation is sufficient and the woman is sexually aroused mentally and emotionally. Women may not have an orgasm if lovemaking ends too soon, there's not enough foreplay, or they're afraid of losing control or letting go. And I know in a completely different discussion, we had talked before about a woman's ability to squirt, that some women can and some women can't, and this, that, and the third. And one of the things that came out of that discussion was that part of the issue is letting go and becoming comfortable with the idea of losing control and that feeling of letting go. Some of it was the shame in the feeling of feeling like you have to pee when you're not actually peeing. That's the squirting coming on, and so you mentally sabotage yourself and you stop it from coming. It's a whole other conversation, but that's part of one of the reasons why. So the fear of losing control, the fear of letting go. Women are encouraged, of course, to try masturbation, like King Hafsat suggested. And for some women, there are psychological therapies that help. So one of the things that we're going to do, again, we're going to try orgasm denial as a way of orgasm control. One of the benefits of that definitely is for women who may not be multi-orgasmic, but want to extend their orgasm control or orgasm denial, or edging as they call it, is one of the ways that you can do that. So practicing, as Daddy Hef, King Hef said, pushing yourself to the point where you're about to have an orgasm and then reeling it back in and bringing yourself down from that. I know on past occasion when I have tried to do that, it's a matter of bringing myself to the point where I feel like I'm about to bust, and then I literally have to get up. So if I'm laying down, I literally have to sit up and stop whatever, like fully stop whatever it is I was doing and clamp my legs tightly in order to prevent the orgasm from coming. It's a frustrating feeling. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So for those of you who are game to try the orgasm control and the orgasm denial, it's frustrating. But you know, as King Hafs had said, when you do get to the point where you release, it is the most intense feeling that you can have as a solo experience. It's absolutely crazy. So whether you have a toy, but if you're a multi-orgasmic, how does that work? I guess it would be, instead of having multiple shorter orgasms in a shorter period of time, that you would stretch out the intensity of that one orgasm so that when you do come, it would be like a volcanic eruption. So like that experience that I had. So I'm a multi-orgasmic person. I can have a gazillion orgasms in a session. I can have one or two in a session. Depends on the stimulation. But in that moment where like I said, you know, you practice the orgasms, what I have to do is stop, like physically get up and stop what I'm doing. When I come back to it, I think I was able to do it 3 times. I remember I was in Detroit, don't ask why. But I was able to do it 3 times before I couldn't take it anymore. And then I made myself come. And normally when I orgasm, if it's just like self-masturbation, which is being redundant and saying self, but when it's just masturbation, solo masturbation, you know, my orgasms are like kind of quick. I talk to myself in my head a little bit, and then it's over. When I did the edging with myself, I couldn't stop the orgasm. Like, it kept coming and coming, and like literally it kept coming and coming and coming. I think that that's the difference. So if you're multi-orgasmic and you do edging with yourself, where the orgasm denial or orgasm as a way of controlling your orgasms, it makes it one big volcanic eruption instead of little smaller ones. You think of it like earthquakes, when you have like the aftershock, except these are before. So you usually when you have the aftershock, it's a bunch of little shock waves after you've had the big seismic reaction. This would be like the little shock waves leading up to the big orgasm, essentially. But I am game to try it. Sorry, there was some other stuff that I wanted to read. So some of the causes of orgasmic disorder, situational psychological factors can contribute. They can include lovemaking that consistently ends before the woman has had enough. So for the men who ejaculate too quickly and don't follow through in fulfilling her pleasure, insufficient foreplay. You know, as we know, a lot of women don't achieve orgasm necessarily through penile penetration. For a lot of women, you know, nipple sucking, biting, kissing, caressing, oral sex, sucking on her pussy, and all that kind of stuff. Those generally are the ways that a lot of women achieve orgasm. And then, you know, getting dick is kind of like the bonus. But for a lot of women, that bonus is more so for the men than for themselves. So when there's insufficient foreplay and she hasn't had an opportunity to get hers or get to that point, it can trigger orgasmic disorder. If one or both parties lack an understanding about how their genital organs function. This is really important. We've talked about this before. Samantha and I will probably talk about it again on Saturday. Not everybody's body is the same. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody, but everybody is the same. Yes, of course, there are general things that work for everybody, but you have to learn a person's rhythm. You have to learn a person's body. Never walk into a sexual situation or an intimate situation feeling like, okay, well, I fucked man before, so I know how to fuck man. I fucked woman before, so I know how to fuck woman. Every person is different. Yes, there are some basic things, but okay, so for example, assuming that every woman's nipples are, you know, sensitive, or every woman gets stimulated by having her nipples sucked on, that's not always the case, you know? Just the same as, you know, some women like just clitoral stimulation, and then some women like the whole pussy being attended to. You cannot just assume that one technique or one way of being or one way of doing or one way of being intimate is going to work with every person that you're with. You have to take time to learn the person's body. Consequently, women, if you're sucking dick, yes, you may have the best, you know, 2-hand, 3,000 gok gok twist, but that may not necessarily work for every man whose dick you're sucking, or whoever the next person's dick it is that you suck. Some men like just the head being stimulated. Some men like the shaft being stimulated. Some men like a combination. Some men like their dick being stroked while their balls are being sucked on. Some like a gentle tugging of the balls. Some like a more you know what I mean? Like, they all have a dick, but not all dick likes to be pleased in the same type of way. Never go into a sexual situation assuming that you know exactly how to please the person. Yes, there are some basic understandings, and yes, there are some basic things that will translate across, you know, every situation with every person that you come in contact with. But you also have to keep in mind that if you're sucking a guy's dick and he's not necessarily responding the way that you're used to, switch up the technique. Ask him more of what he likes. Don't be afraid to have bedroom conversations. Don't be afraid to, to talk and find out what's going on with the person so that you can have the best sexual experience possible. For women who are out there who are having difficulty achieving orgasm, or you get to the point where you're going to have an orgasm and it doesn't follow all the way through, practice orgasm denial and orgasm control with yourself before going into a sexual situation. That way you don't get lost mentally in whatever is happening or whatever's going on in your mind, whether you may think that your sexual skills are not sufficient, you might be feeling inadequate, whatever the case may be, you might not feel sexy enough or what have you. But when you've practiced orgasm control with yourself and orgasm denial with yourself, you can go into any intimate situation and be in control of what your body is doing, be in control of when it is that you want to release. And the person who's helping to stimulate you should be the bonus. It shouldn't be the expectation that they have to get you there. You have to help on the journey to get there yourself, One of the worst things that we can do in any sexual situation is just be in the mindset that the person is supposed to please us, right? Part of the work has to be done by the person that's on the receiving end. It can't all be done by the person who's giving. It would never work. That would be like a man fucking a woman who's just laying there starfish and it's a dead fuck. If she's not kissing you, if she's not caressing you, if she's not encouraging, if she's not pulling you into your body, yeah, you may come, but is it going to be a good sexual experience? Probably not. You know what I mean? And consequently for women, when you're with a man and he only has you in one position, now granted, you can switch up the position as well, but if he only wants to keep you in one position because that's the only good position that he can do, it doesn't help the sexual situation. Brothers, you have to fling up a leg, suck on a breast, kiss a neck, choke a throat. You know what I mean? Suck a toe, whatever the case may be. You have to work with the person that you're having intimacies with. Again, for a lot of women, you don't want to be in a situation where you're faking getting there or faking having gotten there and then leaving in frustration where you end up having to masturbate. If you practice orgasm control and you practice orgasm denial, Samantha, you're laughing, but it's true. It's true. If you practice orgasm control through orgasm denial with yourself, you will be able to control yourself in any given circumstance or situation where you're intimate with someone. You can guide and control when your orgasm comes, how much of an orgasm you have, or you know what I mean? You can stop yourself. Like if it feels too good and you want to wait a little bit longer and push it a little bit further, you have the ability to do that because you're in control of yourself. So trying to see how much time we have left. We have about 18 minutes, something like that. Anyhow, I didn't write down the website where I got this information from, but I will post it in the body of the live afterwards. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So next week, I'm going to talk with King Huff, and hopefully he'll be back with us next week. Wednesday, we're going to continue the discussion about orgasm denial and orgasm control. We're also going to do, with his assistance, I'm going to do a follow-up conversation on aftercare, whether you're doing a scene with someone, which is a play session, whether it's impact play, wax play, knife play, asphyxiation, breath control, whatever the scene is, or if you're having an intensely intimate sexual experience, the importance of aftercare. But one of the things that I also wanted to talk with him about is the importance of aftercare for DOMs as well, because usually we think about the person who's on the receiving end of the pleasure and the person who's on the receiving end of the one who is being brought to the point of that intense orgasm or experiencing the intense energy, but then also the importance of helping the person who is giving or providing that intense experience for them to come down in a safe way as well. So that's it for me for tonight. This has been Wet Wednesday, Orgasm Control and Orgasm Denial featuring King Huff. This, of course, will be posted. It'll either be here or it'll be on YouTube, one of the two. Either way, I will let you guys know where it is so you can check out the full discussion if you're just coming in late, which is okay. In the meantime and in between time, I, of course, am your host, AJ Badass Jones. At some point in life, Instagram will give me back my personal page and I can wow you guys over there with some, additional things. Because I don't know, I feel like it's kind of weird to be posting personal pictures of myself on here when it's like the podcast page, if that makes sense, which probably doesn't because both pages belong to me. Kennedy, good night, gorgeous. But yeah, I will see. Oh, sorry, we're doing what? Samantha, what's something called there? Soakum Saturdays. This Saturday, we're going to be doing Soakum Saturdays. Myself and S. Marie from the Real Girlfriend Experience. The flyer will be posted tomorrow for that in our discussion topic. So, of course, make sure you come back on Saturday night and check this out as well. But yeah, you guys will see me around. We'll talk to you later. Have a great night.